Hello, this is Shereena Monique Osai, and welcome to another episode of the Michigan Style Channel, the show that proves Michigan has style. Today, we have a Michigan Style publication episode for you, and we will be interviewing Rebecca Wall from Ambassador Magazine, and also Brandy Taylor from Her Detroit Magazine. And right now, we are here with Rebecca Wall.
Hi.
Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you. Really glad to be here.
Thank you for being on the show. We are really excited. I love your magazine, and so I'm really excited to talk with you and let our viewers get a little bit more information about the magazine and what you guys do.
Well, thank you. We're really excited to be here.
Good. So how long have you been with Ambassador?
I've been with Ambassador almost 2 years.
Okay. And so you are the managing editor. Tell us a little bit about your role.
You know, the great thing about being a managing editor of a magazine is you do a little bit of everything. There is no such thing as doing the same thing twice or 2 days in a row. It's a huge variety, everything from coming up with story ideas, meeting with the publishers to discuss the stories and figure out what's going to go in each issue, to working with the freelance writers and freelance photographers, giving them direction on the stories, or working with hospitals and PR people. To sometimes I sit and do actual graphic design on the magazine.
Wow.
To helping on the fashion shoots. There's just a huge variety of responsibilities and things that I'm involved in.
So your hand is kind of everywhere.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I mean, it's really great. It is really one of the great things about the job is that no 2 days are the same. You're never doing the same thing twice. You're always, you know, working on a fashion shoot one day to, you know, designing the page the next day.
Yeah. So. That's exciting. That surely beats sitting at a cubicle for 8 hours.
It does. It does. You know, it really does. It's never dull. It makes the days fly by. So.
That's good. So what need does Ambassador Magazine fill in Metro Detroit?
Well, I think, you know, one of the things that we always talk about Ambassador, and one of the reasons why the magazine was started was to provide a positive look at the city of Detroit and the Metro Detroit area, and to try and be aspirational and inspirational and give people inspiration and focus on the good things that are going on and people who are doing good things, and maybe you know, focus on things that people haven't heard of or don't know about. A small business owner in Grosse Pointe or a small business owner in Royal Oak who might not get attention otherwise. But we really try to be positive and focus on good and fun things that are going on in the area.
You know, that's excellent because, you know, the last couple of years in this area have been really rough.
Yeah.
And looking through your magazine, it's like, you know, good things are happening here, and it does make you feel a little bit more positive about where we live.
And you know, I think Detroiters and Metro Detroiters have such pride in their city, and, you know, we don't look at ourselves the same way maybe the rest of the nation does. We have such pride here.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's really fun to promote, you know, people that are doing good and having a positive impact, and just trying to have interesting, fun content.
That's excellent. So this is the Michigan Style Channel.
Yeah.
So we do want to talk about what is the focus of your fashion and style editorials?
You know, it depends on the issue. Every issue is a little bit different, but overall, we try to cater to the luxury lifestyle and to the career woman. You know, we're not interested in catering to or showing a fashion perspective that might appeal to teenagers or college students. We're more interested in the professional woman or a luxury type. So something that would appeal to, you know, that a real woman could wear, as opposed to a teenage girl who are very different shape and fashion interest than a real woman. So.
No, I understand. So how does Ambassador work with and support the local fashion community?
I think through a variety of ways. On our fashion shoots, we use local photographers, local stylists. We've partnered with Eastern Michigan University, for example, to work with their fashion design students to have them come and work on the fashion shoots, just as kind of an assistant, get an idea of what being on a fashion shoot is like.
Oh, that's really great.
In addition to pulling from the major stores in the area, we try to always incorporate, little boutiques in Royal Oak, or little boutiques in Grosse Pointe, or vintage shops in, Birmingham, and make sure that those local designers get some of their products displayed in the fashion shoots. And then we also will do stories on local fashion designers.
Oh, okay.
And try and highlight the up-and-comers and in a story as well. So we try to do as much as we can to not just focus on the big names that everybody knows about, but highlight what people are doing here in the area.
That's important because the small names become the big names.
Exactly.
So do you guys have a big fashion issue that you put out every year?
We do. We actually have two big fashion issues that we produce every year.
Okay.
We have a spring fashion issue, which comes out in March, April, and then we have a fall fashion issue, which comes out in September. And our fall fashion issue tends to be the bigger of the two.
Okay.
In those issues, we really, I feel like we really try to push our fashion shoots to be really spectacular or cutting edge, or just really do something different. In addition, that's where we tend to focus on the current trend, whatever trends are coming up, or we've also focused on local designers, what local designers are up and coming and what they're working on. So those are our fashion issues, are our biggest issues every year.
That's awesome. How does Ambassador position itself as a local fashion resource?
I think we do it through a variety of ways. We have our fashion shoots that go in every issue, but in addition to that, we also do what we call product pages, where we might highlight, bracelets that you can get or earrings that you can get, and we try to find, like I said, we try to find those little boutiques that people might not know about, and say, here's some great earrings, and pair them with these shoes, and go to this store in Birmingham or that store in Royal Oak. So I think we try to have a variety of ways that we showcase fashion, not just straightforward in a fashion shoot, but one of the things that we have coming up in our May issue is kind of around the world fashion, where hey, if you're going on a summer trip to Boston, here's a cute outfit that you could wear on a sailboat, or if you're going over to Europe, here's a our take on a European outfit that you could wear to a club in Europe. So we try to give a variety of fashion resources. And
that's exciting. And you guys also do beauty also, right?
Yes, we do. We focus on a different beauty product in each issue, and we try to have it be somewhat, with the time of the year. Summer's coming up, so let's get your skin ready for summer. What should you do to moisturize? Or don't forget your SPF. So here's some great products that all have built-in SPF, so you don't have to worry about putting on sunscreen. Or, oh, it's winter, and how can you do a dramatic eye for cocktail parties or the charity parties?
Good. So you guys kind of cover it all.
Yeah, we try to. We try
Good.
We try to keep it fresh and different and exciting in every issue.
So with coming out with so many issues, how does your team continuously come up with different themes for magazine issues?
We get together as a group and kind of hash it out. A lot of it is we take a lot of feedback from readers and the community, but a lot of it just depends on the time of year. What issue is coming out, our summer issue. In Michigan, we have such short summers. So
tell me about it.
It's almost a given that, hey, for this issue, we're going to focus on fun and getting out on the boat and being outside, and what can you do that's, maybe isn't the obvious thing to do outside in Michigan in the summer. Visit the west side of the state, or little areas that people maybe aren't as familiar with. So that kind of dictates the theme a lot. And then, same with spring and fall fashion. The fall fashion shows or the spring fashion shows kind of dictate that. But we try to have a real collaborative effort with everybody on the team, and everybody kind of gives their input, and we hash it out, and majority wins. And some of it is set to our November, December issue. We kind of always focus on holiday and charitable giving, because that's when things like Gleaners or different organizations are really in need. So that kind of also, we try to take that into consideration when we're deciding our themes.
Okay. So this might be a hard question, but what is your favorite ambassador issue of all time?
It's in a way it's a hard question, but in a way it's not a hard question. And my answer to that would be I can't possibly pick one favorite.
Okay.
Because every time a new issue comes out, it really is my favorite. And I genuinely mean that. Like last summer, we were able to interview Justin Verlander and feature him on the cover. And I was just so in love with this issue when it came out. I was so proud of it. We worked so hard on it. And having Justin Verlander on the cover when he had such a great baseball season last year was just so exciting for everyone in the office. But really, we work so hard on every issue that every time there's a new one. And then in September, we were able to, feature Jennifer Hudson on the cover for breast cancer awareness, and we feature our power players, influential people in the Metro Detroit area, and I was able to interview Nick Lindstrom. So when this issue came out, it became my favorite. And so it's just impossible. And we have our new issue coming out where we're featuring Helio Castroneves and the Detroit Grand Prix coming back to Belle Isle. So this is kind of my new favorite one.
So it kind of changes.
Yeah, it changes. Every time a new issue comes out, it's my favorite. And I always think it's the best one. The best one yet. So
because you guys put so much into it.
Yeah.
All right, one of our last questions, why should people read Ambassador magazine? Why would you say?
I think because it's a good publication. I think it's a really good publication. We really try to focus on good things that are going on in the city. We try to give a variety of fashion and stories about interesting people, as well as covering topical issues. We do a feature in every issue of the magazine called Roundtable, where we focus on a more serious topic. For example, February is American Heart Month, so we got a group together to discuss how can Americans take better care of themselves, how can our readers take better care of themselves to prevent a heart attack. Coming up in our May issue, we did a roundtable discussion on bullying and how can parents and teachers help kids that are being bullied, how can we build, so there is some serious topical coverage in the magazine, in addition to all the just fun things that are in the magazine. And in the end, Ambassador kind of is there for people's entertainment and fun and joy. So
that is excellent.
Yeah.
So where can people pick up a copy?
Barnes & Nobles has it, Kroger has it. There's lots of mom and pop stores throughout the area that have it. There's a complete list of places where you can buy it on our website, ambassadormag.com. They can always stop into our offices in Birmingham and pick up a copy. But I would recommend going to the website and looking at the complete list and finding a place that's close to you. So.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming in and answering our questions. It was really exciting having you on.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's
You're
been
welcome.
Great.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be right back with more Michigan Style Channel.
Hey you, yeah you, sit right there, I gotta tell you something. I bet you know someone with type 2 diabetes. Guaranteed, you know why? Because 1 out of every 3 little kids is gonna develop diabetes in their lifetime. That can lead to heart problems, strokes, and even blindness. I'm John Sally, and I'm telling you, it ain't gotta be that way. Now you can up your defenses by eating more fruits and vegetables, having more vegetarian and vegan meals. These steps can be the power plays to protect you and your family against the risk of diabetes. Learn more, go to blockdiabetes.org.
Welcome back to the Michigan Style Channel. We are continuing with our Michigan Style Publications episode, and we are here with Brandy Taylor, the Associate Editor of Her Detroit Magazine. Welcome, Brandy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on our show. We're excited to talk to you and to get more information about this exciting magazine that you're working on.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to you as well.
So tell me a little bit about your professional background.
Well, I have a marketing background, marketing and sales background.
Okay.
That's what I mostly have experience in is marketing. I am also a professional makeup artist.
Okay.
And so I have a lot of trades under my belt. I am in sales and marketing, a little bit of advertising, and makeup artistry as well.
That's excellent. How did you get involved with Her Detroit magazine?
Well, the editor-in-chief of Her Detroit magazine, I met her, and she told me about the magazine when it was in its development stages. And I was very excited about her vision and very excited to get involved. And so I've been involved ever since the beginning.
That's great. So Her Detroit is fairly new. What does it take to start a magazine?
It takes a lot of planning, time, budgeting, networking.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to start a magazine, and it also takes a lot of finance, especially when you go to print. It's very expensive to print.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so I can gather that it takes a lot of networking because there's so many people involved in the process. You know, the stylist, you got to sell the ads, you have to get stories and this and that, so it does take a lot of networking.
Oh yeah, definitely. It takes a lot of people to run a magazine, definitely.
What was it like putting out your first couple issues and getting that all together?
It was very exciting and stressful.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and you know, we're very busy. It's like, it's a lot. We never knew what it, you know, how it could have, the impact it could have on our lives. We never knew all that it would really take until we really got out in it. But you know, we're taking it by strides, and we're just happy to keep moving forward with Her Detroit magazine.
Yeah. What was like, with the first issue, what was like the most stressful thing about getting it out?
I think because we were new, I think, you know, you need advertisers in order to, you know, print and, you know, have finance. That's where most of the finances come from, is advertisers. And so it was difficult at first finding advertisers because you don't have anything to go off of. You know, you're new. But we eventually broke the ice, and we've got a lot of people that support the magazine thus far.
That's great. So what need does Her Detroit fill in the Metro Detroit area?
Her Detroit feels the need for, what we feel is for African American women, our community. Okay. We are getting out information for us and about us. Okay. We focus on business, successful women, not so much all the negative. So we're focusing on the positive in Detroit. We're focusing on the things that are going on. You know, we have inspirational things. We're focusing on the fashion things, the up and coming artists in Detroit. So that's what, you know, we focus on a lot of different things. We are a beauty and fashion based magazine. Okay. But what I think makes us unique is that we are for her, and we are her, and that is our, you know, our goal is to enhance, enlighten, and entertain women of the Metro Detroit area.
That's excellent. How does Her Detroit focus on fashion, and how can women improve their style by reading Her Detroit magazine?
Well, we're always looking for the latest trends. We're researching, we're studying, we're trying to find out what's new. We try to keep up on the current fashions, the fashion shows, the current designers of the Metro Detroit area. And also even with the beauty as well. So I think it's a great place because we take that guesswork out for you. We've already done it. We've done our work for you, so you can come to us and find the new trends or find out what's going on in our area. And we like to support locally, so you can buy products from people that were made right here in Michigan. We like to really do that.
That's excellent. So that's the way that you guys support the local fashion community. You guys spotlight different local designers and things like that.
Definitely.
And also like fashion stylists and makeup artists and things.
All the time. We try to stay local. We try to always go with the local photographers, the local makeup artists, the local wardrobe stylists and designers. We want to bring our Detroit out. You know, we want to bring light to our stylists and designers that are here. You know, so we want to bring light to our fashion industry. And, you know, they have a great fashion industry other, you know, places, but we want to shine the light on Detroit.
And that fits just perfectly with the Michigan Style Channel, because that's kind of our focus too, is spotlighting the fashion industry in Michigan.
Yeah, that's great.
Because there's a lot going on here that people don't realize. So it's good that they have a platform in magazines and different TV shows and things like that.
Yes, exactly.
So how does your team come up with different themes for issues?
I think it's just like a random thing, a discussion, and we kind of vote on it, you know?
Okay.
So we kind of discuss it. We talk about what's going on, what's the trends, like if there's any particular calls coming up or anything like that. We try to stay along the lines of that. And so we kind of like toss around ideas and we randomly select the theme for each magazine.
Okay. Why should people read Her Detroit magazine, and what will they gain from this magazine that they may not gain from another?
I think you should, if you are from Detroit or live in the Detroit or Metro Detroit area, you should read Her Detroit because it's a way to learn about what's going on in Detroit. You're going to learn what's going on in your city. You're not going to be reading about people in New York or people in other states. You're going to be reading about something going on in Michigan, something great. We talk about the events. We talk about different things that are going on, successful business women and different things that you may not know about, but if you come to Her Detroit magazine, you're going to find that information.
Okay, that's excellent. So I understand that you guys are starting a bridal magazine also. Correct?
Yes, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? That's exciting.
Yes, we're launching. We decided to launch a bridal magazine that were catered to African American women.
Okay.
A lot of times, I know when I was getting married, I didn't see a magazine where all the women looked like myself. So we decided to do that, and so we targeted a lot of businesses, not just African American businesses, but other businesses that wanted to target to our market.
Okay.
And it's just a great place to go where you can find florists, photographers, you know, cake bakers and different things like that for your wedding. But any woman can use it for the services. But we decided just to make it, you know, cater to the African American woman.
Okay. That's excellent. That's really exciting. So it's going to kind of be a go-to place for women in Michigan who are getting married to find resources and vendors and things like that.
Exactly.
That's good. So are there any changes coming up for Her Detroit? Do you guys have anything new in the works?
Well, right now, we are in the process of revamping some things, so we're actually looking for building our team and continuing to grow our team. We're looking for writers, interns, photographers, stylists, and things of that nature. We actually have a open house coming up on May 10th. Okay. And it's going to be at Southfield for anybody that wants to get involved in the magazine. We're just looking to build and grow our team right now. So we need everybody, sales and marketing professionals. We need stylists. We need writers, bloggers. We need some more people on the beauty team. Makeup artists, people that like to write about beauty, fashion. So if you're interested, you can actually email us at info@herdetroit.com. And find out, and we'll email you all the information so that you can come to that open house on May 10th.
That's great.
There'll also be information at the website too, herdetroit.com.
Okay. So the final question is, where can people get your magazine?
The best way to get Her Detroit is to subscribe to our magazine. Subscriptions are $19.99 for the year, and you could go right on herdetroit.com and click subscribe and subscribe to Her Detroit magazine. That's the best way to get it. Her Detroit magazine is a complimentary magazine, therefore you can pick it up at different locations around the Metro Detroit area, and you can find that listing on herdetroit.com as well.
Okay. And so this is a copy of your current issue, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And this is exciting because I actually have an article in this magazine on decoding the full figure and how to dress your body when you're a full figure woman.
Yes, I was very excited about this issue. I am a full figure woman myself. And I feel like what was so exciting about this issue is to have a real woman, because you always see, a full woman on on the cover.
Yeah.
So we talk about a lot of different, issues that affect the fuller woman, and it was a really great and fun issue, and the model that we worked with, Chantel, was great as well.
Yeah, she was beautiful. I saw her on some of the shoots. She looked really good. But I must say, skinny women are real women too.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, skinny women are real women, but you know what I mean.
No, I know. I'm just teasing you. Well, thank you so much, Brandy. I'm really excited for your magazine and the direction that you guys are going. And I hope that you guys have a lot of success in the future.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So we want to thank Rebecca Wall of Ambassador Magazine, and we want to thank Brandy Taylor of Her Detroit Magazine for being on our show. This has been really exciting, and I hope that you guys pick up a couple copies of these publications and check out what's going on in our city. And thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Shereena Monique Osai, and I am your host and fashion stylist. To contact us, email us at michiganstylechanel@gmail.com.